Hey guys, Jared here, Magnetic Men's Club. I hope everyone's doing well. This video I'm going to talk about, now I'm not going to bash marriage counselors as a whole, but I am going to talk about why marriage counseling, for the most part, does not work. If you've been to a marriage counselor before and it has worked for you, that's amazing. But still listen to this video because maybe some of the things that I'm talking about didn't apply to you. There's a larger amount of people who've been to marriage counseling and actually made things worse. The premise behind this is because most women initiate divorce, we're going to start with the woman tells the husband, I want a divorce. Maybe he's even started talking to attorneys. She may have even filed the paperwork, and the husband's completely caught off guard. This is basically how it happens these days because men don't recognize the signs that their marriage is in trouble until it's too late, until she drops the divorce on. And because we're reactionary, we want to try to fix the relationship. Oftentimes, marriage therapy or marriage counseling comes in. He sees it as an option or an opportunity to try to fix the relationship. So he asks the wife, hey, babe, let's just try this. Let's go to marriage therapy or marriage counseling. Well, here lies the problem. She's already lost respect for you. She's at the point of divorce. She's checked out of the relationship. Most women, a year or so out, are already preparing for divorce. They're getting their own affairs in order. She's already checked out of the relationship. And sadly, women cheat just as much as men, so she may already be in a relationship or have had an affair before, which makes it even harder because now her emotional compass is on another man. So now you want to have somebody else come in and start trying to fix a dysfunctional relationship. Now, does it work? Sometimes. Most of the time, it's too late. The reason why it's too late is it may have worked a year or two prior. She might have even brought it up to you a year or two prior, but because you didn't see the signs, you didn't listen to her, you didn't see what was going on, she dropped it. And now you want to try it. So you have two different people. You have a person who's willing to go into marriage counseling, and you have another person who might just be willing to go to appease the situation, to say, well, we tried, but they're not going to put in the effort. This can happen for a guy and a girl, depending on what side of the coin you are in. Marriage counselors are not miracle workers. For marriage counseling to work, both parties need to want it. And usually when you get to that point of divorce, one party is already checked out. They don't want it, but they may entertain it or appease it just for their own emotional bandwidth, for their own peace, to say, well, we tried. We tried to do it and it didn't work. You have to understand that. Sometimes it's a little bit too late. The other thing you have to understand about marriage counselors is a lot of them are failures in their own life. Some of them have never been married. Some of them have been divorced, married twice, 3 times, dysfunctional kids. Why the fuck would you take relationship advice from a person like that? So you really need to vet this marriage counselor to see, does this person have the life I want? And if not, why would I pay this person this money? It just doesn't make any sense to me. So you really want to watch and really want to vet these marriage counselors. To kind of piggyback on that, most marriage counselors, now I'm not bashing women, but they're women. And so if they've already had a shitty marriage, they've gone through a marriage, maybe they're still dealing with past traumas, what side of the coin do you think they're going to side on? Who do they think needs to be fixed? You. Chances are maybe you don't need to be fixed, but now it's an attack. It's the marriage counselor and the wife against you, or it could be the guy marriage counselor, the husband against the wife. You just don't know that dynamic of what's really going on. It is a business. They're out for your money. So understand that. Again, I'm not bashing them. I'm a business. I'm here to make a profit. But the difference is most marriages, when they get to this level, just cannot be saved. Marriage counseling especially can make it worse. Another reason why marriage counseling might not be the best option is in this relationship, there may be past traumas that your wife or husband needs to work on, and as they get older, it's coming out more. Could be maybe some sexual abuse in the past, could be failed relationships that haven't been resolved. It could be a number of things that now they're battling with these issues on top of marriage. Well, you can't fight two battles or a battle on both fronts. Sometimes the woman or the man who's in this situation, they need to work on themselves. And until they do, until they kind of heal those past traumas, they shouldn't have never been in a relationship or a marriage to begin with. So sometimes it might not have anything to do with you. It might be stuff from her past that has come up recently that she now needs to work on. Another one is, sometimes people are just not compatible. You have amazing sex in the beginning of the relationship, you get married, but then you when you start living with somebody, you realize that you just might not be as compatible as you thought you were. Would it be best to stay in a relationship where you're not compatible, you have really nothing to talk about, your goals are not aligned with each other, your values are not aligned with each other? Would it be best to stay in that situation even if you have kids? Or would it be best to leave that situation so that you can find other people or other partners that are more aligned with your values? A marriage counselor can't help you with that. If you're just not compatible anymore, or you found out you were really never compatible to begin with, and you only got married for this emotion called love, which is complete bullshit, and you never had these conversations before, and you never discussed child rearing, you never discussed expenses, and you never discussed this, and you just kind of threw all the fucking shit into the pot and realized, I don't even know this person, or I don't even like this person. Marriage counseling can't help with that. So you have to take a step back and really ask yourself, do I even want this to work? Do I want this to work because I don't want to lose her, or do I want this to work because I love her and I value her? It's a hard question to ask. Most of the time, your best bet is to leave the situation to find somebody you're more compatible with and let her do the same. So marriage counseling really can't help with that. A lot of times when people go into marriage couple therapy or marriage counselor, they go in with unrealistic expectations. And this is where the marriage counselor actually needs to set some strong boundaries and kind of list out what his expectations are for the couple. But a lot of people go into the thought that this person is a wizard and they're going to come in and say, well, you're doing this wrong, you're doing that wrong, these things need to change, and then poof, it's a perfect marriage. It doesn't work that way. Marriage counseling is a lot like coaching. They don't talk much. It's a space they provide the couples, ask some questions, and let the couples talk it through with the guidance of the marriage counselor. So when this happens, especially in the beginning, what generally happens is they will go into a session, they'll start talking, and then they fight after the session because this moderator, they're trying to be PC to. They're trying to say the right things or do the right things that the marriage counselor wants to hear, but that's not really what they mean, and then end up fighting at home, which makes the whole process even worse. So the expectation needs to be set really by the marriage counselor. The marriage counselor really needs to be like, this is what I provide. These are the parameters for which I do it. It's up to you guys to fix your own shit. I'm just the guide. I'm just the person to highlight some things that you brought up, and I'm the person to question some of the things you brought up. But it's between you guys to work it out. So the expectation is usually like, this guy's just gonna fix it, or this girl's just gonna fix it. I don't have to do anything. That's the wrong way to go into any coaching or any counselorship, is letting the person just fix it. It's not how it works. So you have to manage your expectations when you do decide to go into any kind of counseling or any kind of therapy, or really any kind of coaching. They're not wizards. And obviously we touched upon this before, but there's always resistance. When one person brings up marriage counselor and the other person, in this scenario, the wife, has filed for divorce, she's gonna be in resistance to the idea, because she's already made her mind up, and she already has probably an emotional compensation to either another guy, or at least emotional compensation to the idea of divorce. And her girlfriends and other divorcees she's talking to tells her how amazing it is and how the grass is always greener. So there's going to be resistance to it, and she's probably going to do it only to appease you. Again, we tried, but not really put in any effort to it. If you come to the party too late, if you let it get this far into where she's about to slap a divorce on you, you've already failed. You've already failed in your duties as leading the relationship. You've failed in your responsibilities to see the patterns, see what's different about her, not maybe giving her enough love and attention and filling up her emotional piggy bank. Again, a lot of guys get very kind of set in their ways, and they have this thought, well, she'll never leave me. We have this house, and well, we just bought a car together, and the kids are doing good, and fuck, we just went on vacation. None of that matters. Your thought is she would never leave you, but the reality is 55% of all marriages end in divorce. 70% of those marriages women initiate. If they're college educated, it's 80%. It doesn't serve us as men. It certainly doesn't serve our wives or our girlfriends and our kids. We need to be the leaders. We need to be the head of the household. And we need to be the type of man that we would want our daughters to marry and our daughters to date. So that's a very good question you have to ask. If your wife is ready for a divorce, ask the question, if you have daughters, would I be proud of my daughter dating the type of guy I am now? If you can honestly say yes and say, I'm a high quality guy, I've done everything I can, or I thought I could, and she still wants a divorce, then just let her go. She's just not the person for you at this point. But if you say no, like, you know what, I have let myself go. My passions, my ambitions, my drive, all of that kind of went away over the years, and I haven't really been helping her out. I haven't been a supportive teammate for her. If it's not too late, then maybe there's a chance. But if it is too late, still take that knowledge into your next relationship so you don't make those same mistakes again. With that, my name is Jared. This is Magnetic Men's Club. If you found this video helpful, you know what to do. Like, subscribe, that bell icon. If you need some more help with this, book a call with me. We'll see if we're a good fit together. Have a great day. We'll talk soon.